Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to the News Bulletin at 8, brought to you by number one news provider Eswatini TV. I am Nundumiso Vilagade alongside Zaman Zimanzi, and here are your top stories. Her Majesty the Ndlovukazi has arrived safely in the Republic of South Africa. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology says Eswatini has lost about 177 million Malangeni and 95 cases being online fraud. Motorists have appreciated the fuel price decrease that is expected to be effective on Friday, the 3rd of November 2023. And now the news in detail. Her Majesty the Ndlovukazi has arrived in the Republic of South Africa. Her Majesty was given a warm welcome when she arrived in the neighboring country, which has good relations with the Kingdom of Eswatini.
The Republic of South Africa accorded Her Majesty the Ndlovukazi a warm welcome when she arrived in Johannesburg on Tuesday evening. Her Majesty's visit highlights the good relations that exist between the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of South Africa, and is further set to affirm the warm bonds of friendship that link South Africans and Amaswati. Her Majesty's delegation comprises Their Royal Highnesses Prince Mboisa and Princess Lomajuba and Chief Gogoma. On the news, I am Sandile Makanya reporting from Johannesburg in South Africa.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology, Phesheya Dube, says Eswatini has lost about 177 million Malangeni, with 95% cases being online fraud, hence the need for everyone to be cyber smart. The Principal Secretary was speaking at Hilton Garden Inn in Mbabane during the Cybersecurity Awareness Month in Mbabane.
The Principal Secretary says it is important for everyone to collectively fight cybercrime. He continues to say the ministry and the Eswatini Communications Commission will this month embark on a campaign to raise awareness on cybercrime. The Principal Secretary says child trafficking cases are on the rise in the country, of which 60% originate from social media platforms.
Silonja kakhulu ke i-Cybersecurity Awareness Month lo muhla lapho khona ke sidabe siphumela ngaphandle sifundisa sive ngokuthi basasebenzisa lama gadgets noma ke dincingo ama laptop nako konke nje lama digital gadgets bativikele kanjani ngoba phela sesibonile ukuthi inombolo iyenyuka onke amalanga inombolo bo cyberbullying dalokwa nalokwa so sithi cha asivele sifake amandla ekutheleni sisifundise sive.
Eswatini Communications Commission Chief Executive Officer Mvilawembi Dlamini says they have put measures in place to prevent cybercrime
and of ensuring online safety in Eswatini lies on the shoulders, because we cannot have a robust economy without the necessary safeguards for the citizens. Cyber threats can lead to financial losses, reputation damage, and even legal implications. Implementing robust security measures helps protect sensitive information, such as personal data, financial details, intellectual property, from falling into the wrong hands.
The Principal Secretary says the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology has enacted the Computer Crime and Cybercrime Act of 2022, the Data Protection Act of 2022 and the Electronic Transactions Act of 2022 in an effort to stop cybercrime and ensure cyber safety. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Mbabane.
Motorists have appreciated the fuel price decrease that is expected to be effective on Friday, the 3rd of November 2023.
Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy has announced that fuel price will decrease by 2 emalangeni on Thursday midnight, and the new prices will be effective on Friday, the 3rd of November 2023. We spoke to a number of motorists around town here in Babane, and they are applauding government for such a magnificent step towards reviving the economy of the kingdom.
Now at least wehle noma ngabo 3 rand to 4 rand man. Ube less than 20 rand le liter for petrol.
Lokho lokuncane nje lokwendekile kutasita thina. Ngoba vele yisesidonsa sesebenzela lo petrol vele nyana.
Ngiyona ngaphindza ungathuthi uyehla kancane ngasidakele kakhulu.
Ngicabanga ukuthi petrol.
The majority of the motorists we spoke to are saying fuel plays a major role in reviving the country's economy because everything that we produce, they travel to the market using this commodity, fuel. The ministry is saying the fuel price decrease is as a result of a huge global supply of oil in oil markets, hence the fuel price decrease that we are seeing in the Kingdom of Eswatini. The ministry is urging motorists to use fuel wisely at this time of the year. Also, what contributed to the fuel price decrease is the Lilangeni dollar exchange rate. There was a depreciation there, especially around the month of September 2023. For Eswatini TV News, I am Lincoln Kule with Skumbuzo Dlamini and Pendulo Kumbi in Babane.
The Eswatini Beverages has donated pedestrian bollards to Matsapa Town Board, which will be from the Police Academy to Matangeni. The Undersecretary in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Makosa Smelane, says they are hoping that this will reduce the number of accidents that occur on this stretch.
Last year we did a similar investment, but this year the difference is, versus last year we had a stretch of about 800 kilometers. This year we're having a stretch of 1.7 kilometers in the Matsapa area. So we are super excited to partner with the municipality, the council.
The Undersecretary in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Makosi Simelane, says the donation will help the ministry to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Goal number 11 of creating safe and sustainable cities.
This particular initiative could not have come at a better time where the numbers for Matsapa in terms of persons that walk along the roads, they keep rising all the time. And we also appreciate that this initiative is going to also help safeguard the infrastructure itself.
The town clerk Lucky Sugati says such a donation was greatly needed as there has been numerous accidents in the Police Academy Matangeni stretch. He says there are a lot of people in this stretch as it is used by people working in local firms.
It will really assist in separating the two, and it will really assist in getting less accidents whereby pedestrians are knocked off by cars.
Last year, Eswatini Beverages donated 270,000 emalangeni for installation of pedestrian bollards along First Street in Matsapa Industrial Area. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Giyani Msibi, Matsapa.
The second phase of the multidisciplinary geoscience mapping project will cost government 18 million emalangeni. This has been said by the Chief Geologist, Dr. Noah Nhleko.
The Minister of Natural Resources and Energy under the Geology Survey Department, in partnership with the Ministry of Defence and Council of Geoscience in South Africa, has completed phase 1 of the multidisciplinary geoscience mapping in the country. The first phase of the survey covered the Wowo region as well as parts of the Manzini region. Chief Geologist Dr. Noah Nhleko says the second phase of the project will be launched before the end of this month.
We negotiated and we eventually agreed on the 18 million. We never changed the methodology, the scope of works. And then Now, as of last week, the tender board did grant us authority to award the consultant to go ahead. So currently we are busy putting together a service level agreement that will guide, a contract that will guide us in our operations. So we have to forward it to the Attorney General's office to approve it, and then from there then we can go ahead.
The second phase of the multidisciplinary geoscience mapping project will be completed by April next year. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkalsiwe Khoza with Zikumbuzo Dlamini, Mbabane.
The Eswatini Communications Commission, ISOCOM, United Nations Development Programme and Small Enterprises Development Company, SEDCO, have signed an agreement which seeks to enhance universal access to information, communication and technology services to a Maswat at an affordable cost. ISOCOM's Chief Executive Officer Mvilawembi Dlamini says the agreement will, amongst other things, empower micro, small and medium enterprises.
This initiative in particular aims to improve service delivery, ensure that access to ICTs become more inclusive, especially for the most marginalized segments of our population. It is the Commission's unyielding stance to foster partnerships and collaborations that elevate the quality of life of our citizens. In light of this, we pledge our utmost commitment and dedication to achieving the objectives laid out in the MOU we're signing today.
United Nations Development Programme's resident representative Rose Sesebatindira says the role of digital technology in advancing civic engagement cannot be overstated.
One is to provide digital solutions for improved public services and other government functions to advance the implementation of the SDGs. We'll endeavor to establish collectively local content hubs to enhance content quality production in the multimedia sector and to enhance youth employability, entrepreneurship, and building of appropriate skills through the development of local and indigenous content.
SEDCO's Chief Executive Officer Ketiwe Mhlanga says they are committed to this agreement.
And SEDCO is quite committed to provide services which will promote entrepreneurship to the SMEs. Through training, we'll still be providing that capacity building. We'll be providing the business coaching. We'll be providing the mentorship aspect and marketing and having those financial linkages to ensure that these ICT hubs are utilized effectively.
This engagement by the three partners will help Eswatini realize the recommendations by the World Bank on the Digital Economy Diagnostic Report 2022 for government to commit to strengthening information, communication and technology infrastructure. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Mbabane.
The Eswatini Television Authority's Chief Executive Officer Mlamuli Dlamini says African states need to tell their own stories in a high quality and excellent manner. The CEO was speaking when bidding farewell to Namibian Broadcasting Corporation delegation on Wednesday.
The Namibian Broadcasting Corporation delegation was in Eswatini for a 3-day benchmarking exercise. Speaking during a farewell ceremony on Wednesday, Eswatini Television Authority CEO Mlamuli Dlamini spoke on the importance of African states telling their own stories.
Africans need to solve African problems. Africans need to come together, right, to tell African stories and not wait for someone else to tell African stories, which is when you pause and think about it, it's what's been happening for the longest time, right? But we need to tell our stories and do it in a high quality and great excellence manner. And the way we do that, or the way we get there, is through what's happening right here.
Head of the NBC delegation, Joseph Antonio, said they have learned quite a lot from their visit.
We hope that our engagement will not end here. We will have more of this type of engagement. And we are also inviting your staff member to come to NBC see the infrastructure, see the people, learn the new culture from that side.
The two broadcasting stations ended their meeting by affirming their commitment into attaining the Southern African Broadcasting Association SABA's goal of producing high-quality content. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Suekoza with Zikumbuzo Dlamini, Babane.
The National Blood Transfusion Services has collected over 1,000 units of blood during the two-week blood drive campaign conducted in the Lubombo and Hoho regions, respectively. Blood Bank's quality manager Sizwe Shabangu encouraged the Eswatini to donate more blood. Viewers are advised that the following report contains pictures of blood.
Due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the National Blood Transfusion Service experienced a decrease in blood donation. The blood bank then launched a blood drive targeting schools, towns and churches situated in the Lubombo and Hoho region. Blood bank quality manager Sizwe Shabangu says during the drive, they were able to collect over 1,000 units of blood.
Gogonke singasho nje ukuthi empeleni lo mkhankaso bothi sifuna 2,000 ma units. Sakhona ukuthi sivaka sithole amadona lathi 1,418. Lokwende kuthi sikhole ingadi lethi 1,066. Ingadi iyinye nasiyikweleka iye ilast emalanga lang 42. Lokwenda ukuthi nabe siyikweleka enyalo utakhanda ukuthi iphela la kubo emaviki eqala December. Lokusho ukuthi sive singasikhuthata ukuthi sibuye ngemandla sikweleke sisilethele ingadi loyo nje adinikele adonate ukuze ukuthi le ngadi ikhona ukuthi ilast iyele ngoJanuary.
The blood bank needs at least 200 units of blood a day to sustain local hospitals. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samkal Swekoza with Zikumbuzo Dlamini, Babane.
The Higher Education Council gathered companies and other stakeholders to discuss how to link the industry with academic institutions, such as graduates who graduate with saturated programs which increase a high unemployment rate because their programs are out of demand. The discussion looked at the role that companies can play in reducing unemployment rate amongst graduates. The meeting was held at Royal Villas, Eswatini.
We now have a national outcry that graduates from universities and colleges are not the type that industry is expecting. So what is important is that we need to provide the forum and opportunities for industry to give the tertiary institutions their current and future needs so that this can be factored into the curriculum, enabling the student to be the type that is expected by industry. It's also important for industry to provide work learning opportunities for students during training and immediately after, so that they get exposed to what is current and happening in industry, making them better placed for being employed.
Groups of 2 to 5 students have to pick a topic that they work on over a minimum of 4 weeks. That again leads to a research paper or a research report at the end of this. And then we have, in addition to that, outdoor education. We are an international school. We recognize the importance of place in our curriculum, like the impact of sustainability by climate change is very important in Eswatini. So we have a robust outdoor education program that all of our students also get a chance to participate in some way or another.
Any student that is graduating from any institution should be able to have basic skills. How do you conduct yourself in an interview? How do you dress up? How do you answer questions, etc.? I have never seen it happening. I have never. So these are the things that you need to consider as you are running the different courses in the different institutions, that on the last year, prepare the student for the outside world.
The director of the Meteorology Department, Dudun Hlengetwa, urges members of the public to be cautious at all times and stay safe, especially if weather forecasters have predicted heavy rains because they may be accompanied by hailstorms. She says the public must listen to weather forecasters to avoid loss of life and property.
The director of the Meteorology Department, Tutun Hlengetwa, says whenever they issue a weather forecast, especially when it has been predicted that rains will be accompanied by thunderstorms, then there is a possibility of hailstorms. Everyone must prepare themselves.
We need to ensure that anything that could be blown away by winds is cleared or secured, and we open our waterways so that the water, in case of heavy downpours, clears as quickly as possible to avoid flooding and damage of our homes and other infrastructure. We also request that whenever we forecast thunderstorms, we request the nation to ensure that they keep a close ear to the rest of the forecast, and because thunderstorms sometimes go with heavy winds and sometimes with hailstorms. So we need to be prepared for that and keep a close ear, because sometimes as we get closer to the event, it becomes more clearer and we issue warnings, including through radio and other social media platforms.
The early warning unit as well is also working towards strengthening its unit in order to issue accurate weather forecast. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian Msibi, Mbabane.
Dear viewers, now take a look at our financial updates.
Can be.
Welcome back. You're still watching Eswatini TV. In our sports news tonight, Eswatini Rugby Union President Bandile Vilakazi says Southern African countries, members of the World Rugby Union, are planning to launch a SADC tournament which will enable the still developing countries to play more games per calendar year. Vilakazi was speaking after attending the World Rugby Union Assembly, which was held in France over the past weekend.
Before the World Cup final match between South Africa and New Zealand in France, where South Africa were the eventual winners, the World Rugby Union held its General Assembly. During the assembly, members of the union got a chance to discuss different rugby issues, more notably the development of the sports in African countries, where members from the southern part of Africa proposed to have their own mini tournament.
Tindzaba lesitikhulumisile ngosi ngiko lokuthi simave ase-Afrika usifundisa sasadakhe sidzinga lokuhlangana sikhone kusebenzisana ukuthi sibe nema competitions ethu lesitawukhona ukuthi njengoba nje ubona enhla neAfrika banawo ema competitions ema sevens labaye batibambele wona dlalwa komnyaka yonke kanti la ngendasi neAfrika ukhanza ukuthi kuyashoda lithuba lesizamise kuba nalo lekudlala ngesikhathi mhlambe kunema qualifiers. So sibukile ke singilabo labaphethekele dinyonyane la ngephasi kwase-Afrika lo ukuthi nathi masingakhona kutakhela yethu competition mhlawumbe sizame ukuthola labo labangasichasa basilekelele singakhona singilamave ukuthi nathi ngemawe ema games lesiba nawo singilamave nzawonye noma kumbe ngecocoma ngalive ngalinye la ngakhona ukuthi nathi asiside ezisaqhuba wona lo mdlalo.
Vilakazi also applauded the Springboks for winning a record 4th Rugby World Cup title. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports, I'm Linda Dlamini, Babane.
That is all we had for tonight, but before we wrap up, we'll take a quick recap of today's headlines. Her Majesty the Ndlovukazi has arrived safely in the Republic of South Africa. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology says Eswatini has lost about 195 cases being online fraud. Motorists have appreciated the fuel price decrease that is expected to be effective on Friday, the 3rd of November 2023. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin tonight. Up next is the weather forecast for selected towns. Good night, Eswatini.
kuzwana